Is it recording? Okay, so we're recording. And I am going to mute you guys, but wait, how do I mute you guys? Okay, I'm gonna mute you guys, and then if you want to say something or whatever, type in the chat, and then you can unmute yourself and ask a question or whatever. Let me just pull up the chat to make sure I have it. Where did the chat go? Sorry, guys, I'm still figuring all of this stuff out. I'm so bad with technology. Okay. I think I got it under control. Okay, so I wanted to get on the Zoom. Pardon my house. It's a disaster. But I also wanted to just go over some stuff, things I've been hearing a lot lately. I wanted to hopefully help you guys close out the month strong, or at least go into the new month going over some stuff that maybe you guys had some questions about or were unsure of, whatever. So, and you know me, I could talk about social media and all this stuff. I could talk about it like all day long. It's my favorite thing to talk about. So let's get started. So the first thing, and I was talking to Allison yesterday about it, and we all talk about lifestyle posts, 3F posts, Y posts, whichever you want to call them. And I could, write what kind in the post challenge and go over them and everything, but it's a little bit different when you sit down to write them every single day. And I can understand that. So I wanted to go over some tips for how to come up with lifestyle posts that don't seem like you're doing the same thing all the time, that still relate to people, that aren't spammy, because you have to do them. They're 100% necessary. If you want to find distributors, that's the only way you're going to find them. You might get lucky and message somebody and they'll just want to be a DT, and great. But the majority of the time, that's not how you're going to find your DTs. You're going to find it when you start a following on your Facebook and they start seeing your lifestyle posts and start getting to know you. And you hear me talk about being personal, being relatable as being 100% of the reason why you'll sign distributors. People want to join you. If they wanted to just join to make money without an upline, I don't even know how you would do that, but like they would just do that. They wouldn't particularly reach out to you and, rely on you for their training and everything. So all in all, you want to be somebody that people want to know. And that comes from your lifestyle posts or 3F, whatever you want to call them, and the look of your Facebook, which is going to be the bulk of what we go over today. So the first thing, in writing lifestyle posts, you don't always have to make them big and fancy. It's good to have, but I want to go over the difference between filler posts and lifestyle posts. They're both important, but filler posts, there's no there's no right or wrong. It's however you would post on Facebook. So, if you put a kitchen you like or a vacation you want to go on, stuff like that in the post challenge, I would consider those, more filler posts unless you mention that this opportunity is going to afford you that. And then it becomes a lifestyle post if you're following me. So it's important to know the difference between that so that you're not just posting up pictures of beautiful islands and resorts and thinking that that's your lifestyle post. If it's just the picture, then it's kind of a filler. If it has a message behind it saying that, you're able to dream again because of this, you're able to maybe, one day put that on your dream board and one day you'll be able to be there because of this company, things like that. That's how it crosses over into lifestyle territory. So it's pretty easy to kind of, use the two of those. If ever you're in a bind, that's one thing you can do. My favorite thing to do And I've gone over this. I'm not sure if I went over it in just like a written post or if I did like a Zoom or a live video, but my exercise for having things to always be inspired by all this mumbo jumbo, right? So I do something called word association and brainstorming. I sat down one day. It took me, I put aside 15 minutes, let's say, to brainstorm. And believe it or not, it's actually pretty fun. Like you get your creative, juices flowing. You get to, dream more. It gets you excited. Like when I sit and I brainstorm, I get really pumped. And it puts me back in a positive place too. So if I'm feeling kind of down, especially on like a rainy day like today, my favorite thing to do is just to sit and brainstorm. And what I do is, like, the center of this page is, I don't think you guys can see it, but I'm going to try. And it's backwards. Awesome. So that says fun things, right? So I sat down and I thought anything fun. It doesn't have to be something, like it doesn't have to be anything you would think with it works. It doesn't have to make any sense. Anything that pops in your head, write it down. Let's see, I have like Pinterest on here, blog, Mia, like I have I have just anything and everything that's fun that comes to mind. I just jot it down. On the other page, I did one for freedom. This one's crazy. This one I have like clock written down on here. I got barefoot. I don't know why being barefoot's fun, but it's on there. The sun, dreams, love, Boston, because I really want to go to Boston. I don't know. I have a bunch of crap on here. Look, it's all a mess, right? So now the other day, when I was struggling to think of a lifestyle post to put up, I went to this page and I thought, what's something I want to do? And I found hot yoga was like staring at me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put a post up about how I want to go to unlimited hot yoga classes. Done. It's that easy. So when you have kind of like a bank of different things like this, it's kind of easy to feel inspired, even if you're not feeling inspired at that very moment. So even if it's not a moment where you're like, I'm going to just bang out the best lifestyle post, but you know that you need to put one up, having something to fall back on, like a brainstorming page like this, is good because you can always just, delve into that, and here are some topics that you can work on. So this way you don't feel like you're always keeping the same posts up. I did a page before where everything on the page was stuff that I like that's under $100, stuff that's necessary that's under $100. Like toilet paper is on that list, so when you sit down and you brainstorm all this, you'll think of things that you won't necessarily think of if the pressure's on you to write a post right now. Where's my other thing? My notebook is crazy. Bear with me. Okay, so then I did word association. I did things to pay for, and the word that I was highlighting was pay. So anything that came to mind over the next, let's say, 15 years, I write down on this list. And this is what I started this morning. So I have Mia needs to get neutered soon. We'll need to go wedding band shopping. I'm low on bulletproof coffee. I have to finish the spare bedroom because all my crap is everywhere and I need to organize it. Word association. So things I need to pay for is the list, and pay is like the trigger word. So now anything that comes to mind when I think of the word pay, and it can be anything. So I have Mia Vet on here. I have Care Credit, PayPal, Spotify, neutering, groceries, stuff like that. I'm probably using the wrong word by saying word association, but by sitting down and just jotting whatever the hell comes into my mind, but centered around one kind of, word, like pay, that's how I have all of these different topics that I can pull from at any time to write these posts. Does that make a little bit more sense, Deb? Tell me you want to go back over that. Want me to go back over that? Okay, cool. So, you know, or you can do wedding. Wedding is a keyword. And then you can write all the dumb little crap that comes with a wedding, like the fact that you have to pay for programs. I didn't know that. I'm the worst bride ever. So the more research I do, the more terrified I become about all the stuff I have to pay for, but the more stuff I have to put on my word association. You know, save the dates. I did a post. It's like my favorite post ever. I think I got my like 2 distributors one month just from that postage on my wedding invitation post, because people don't think about that. That it's like you have to spend $300 on stamps to send your invitations. Like that's a lot of money to just not really think about until it happens. So those kinds of posts are awesome. And that you'll find a lot more easier when you do these kinds of brainstorming and word association to pull from. Okay, so that's one trick I have. I was also going over yesterday. So when I'm super busy, I know I'm going to be super busy. In the past, it's funny because I may have lagged in my before and afters or my product posts, but I've always found it easy to put up lifestyle posts for some reason. And I found that when I was really, really busy, I would do solid blocks of time and I would write a whole bunch of them. So, and I mean, I don't know, I'm going to try this, I think. Instead of writing it like as the day goes on or the night before for the next day, I'm going to spend an hour every Sunday and I'm going to write a bunch of lifestyle posts to keep in my notes. So this way I always have them to pull from. So if you want to do that, you can do just a solid hour of sitting down and writing them. Let's see. Pre-take your photos. So in addition to my word association, I have a list of, damn, I really messed this notebook up. Okay, so I have a list written of all just different words that popped up during my word association exercise that whenever I'm out and about and I see it, I'm going to take a picture of it, edit it all pretty, and save it in my phone for a later time. So I have here Sephora, family, cooking, hot yoga, nails, bed, sunny day, dancing, a clock, quotes, Boston, Cali, like all of the ones from that exercise. So next time I'm at Sephora, I'm going to snap a picture in front of the store. Next time I'm with my family, I'm going to take a cute family picture to use for, you know, a lifestyle post. Anything really. You can do. Quotes are the easiest, so I just go every morning I try to go on Pinterest and I'll save any cool quote, the cool quotes and funny stuff, anything I think is going to be interesting on Facebook. I save it in a board on my Pinterest so that I kind of I'm all about making those banks to pull from so that it's a lot easier, especially if you're in a rush. So quotes are super easy to keep track of. Yeah, I save pictures of interior design, vacation spots, stuff like that. I always have like a bank to go to. So, and this one's important because I noticed like a lot of you guys are really great about giving your why. And I know that, you know, your why can change and sometimes people feel like it gets repetitive, like I'm always saying the same stuff, but it doesn't matter. We're going to be working on adding people to your friends list daily, right? So you want to keep talking about your story. You want to keep talking about your why. You want to, change up your wording here and there, but ultimately that's who you are and that's why you're in this business and that's why you're going to help other people join you and succeed. So it's super powerful and important to always have that be the forefront. As people are going to be getting to know you, you want them to absolutely, like with people, a lot of my people on my Facebook, if you were to ask them, they'd say, oh, she works for It Works. She got a whole bunch of bonuses last year. She started doing this for her grocery money and she's diabetic. Like that basic info has been a million posts, but that's what people take away from it. So they're not going to get bored of hearing your stuff. They're going to they know you now. we can change up how we say it, but don't forget, you can talk about your story every day if you want to. When we heard from Claire Flores recently in our team Zoom, she said she always reposts her story. And when she does, she usually gets some bites from some PDTs. And the same goes every time I post that, hello, my name is Michelle, I'm a double diamond, blah, blah, blah. People pop up. Now, I get upset because I hear people who say, I'm only a distributor. I'm only an executive. I'm only a ruby. I'm not a diamond. I'm not a double diamond. What could I possibly post that's going to impress people that they're going to want to know about my story, whatever? That's bull. Cut that out. Be nice to yourself. First of all, you're not only a distributor, you're almost an executive. You're almost your next promotion. And deep down, we all are ambassador. It's just the ambassadors have been doing this for 6 years, 8 years. They're all been in this for a long time. I don't even know who the person who's been here the least, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. The ambassador who's been enrolled the shortest amount of time, but it has to be a few years, so don't beat yourself up. If you just joined this, and by the way, if you're still within your first year, you just joined this still, so be nice to yourself. You still have a story. You still have a reason why you joined. You still have, a personality. You are a mom, you are a father, you're a sister, a friend, a fiance, a wife, everything. You have a million things you could write about for people to get to know you and be inspired by you. I'm not rich. I don't make a load of money. I mean, I struggle to maintain double. I struggle to maintain diamond sometimes, but I feel the confidence of what I can offer people. And that's what I talk about. I don't ever let, whether or not I'm feeling up or down that day dictate how great I feel in terms of my business, because all that does is shows insecurity in your business. Fake it till you make it. Confidence is like everything. I didn't know jack nothing when I started, but I acted like I found a few ambassadors' pages. I would stalk out Leah's page, and I just did what I saw. I had the confidence. It was fake back then because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. People would message me and I'd be like, what do I do? But I figured it out, and you just got to act confident. So don't be afraid to tell your story and say, I'm really pushing for this rank. I'm currently at this rank. Talk about what you've learned in the business so far. Talk about what you're excited to see. Excited, what's coming to you. The people you've met, all of this stuff, that's all part of you being in this business. It has nothing to do with your rank. I don't view any of you as a person based on your rank. We all love each other, and I hope you guys don't just like me because I'm a double diamond. I hope that you guys feel inspired and you're capable of doing the same exact thing. So don't undermine yourself in those posts. Still feel free to love yourself and be proud of yourself, and that's what's going to attract people to you. If you post the same stuff every now and then, like why you joined, I mean, everybody's going to join for a reason. But when you post your story, even if it's not glamorous, that means something to people. And sometimes even if you're afraid to open up and tell people, I have distributors on the team that have incredible stories of struggles they've been through, and they're afraid to share that. And that's fine. And I would never push them. Just know that the deeper your story is, the more there's people out there who feel alone and would really relate to hearing your story. When I completely opened up about having, being at rock bottom with my diabetes, and, basically being at the point where I was I didn't even want to try anymore. I was just exhausted, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I had hit rock bottom, and that's when I started really trying with my diabetes. That's when I started getting an outpouring of people that wanted to be a part of my journey. And it was terrifying letting people into that. I'm a proud person. So admitting that I, ripped my pump off and threw it down the stairs and drove away and just sat there, waiting to get sick. That stuff is really deep and really scary to talk about. But the amount of people who messaged me and said, thank you for saying that, because I thought that I was the only one going through it, That's what's so powerful. And that gives you confidence. And that gives you the ability to feel like you have something to offer people. So I encourage you to just push yourself. If you've been through some shit, talk about it, because it is so relatable and so powerful to people. Can we post only part of our stories? Like, do we need to go into full details of the story or just part of story? Like diabetes, one post, money problem. You always want to do that. So you don't want to give people too much to digest, because then it seems like you're venting, or it seems like you want sympathy. So I stick to one topic and I dive into that pretty deep. So for example, the diabetes, they're long posts, and when it's going to be a long post, I kind of like preempt that and I say, you know, long post alert or whatever. And I'll just deeply talk about that one topic. If you were going to be talking about money problems, and again, that's be careful with that it doesn't come across like complaining or venting or like you're sympathy seeking, but more so that, you know, you're going to overcome it. Yeah, and then you can dive deep into the money issue post. And that'll also help you come up with more posts to put up. You don't have to give it all away in one. And in fact, I don't recommend it. So definitely keep them separated. It's a good question. Thank you. Let's see. Any other questions on that part? Anybody? You guys can unmute yourself and ask too if you want. You don't have to type it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to move on. And if you guys have any questions about or anything to add about being real and letting people in and, you know, going deep on the post about your story and who you are, feel free to type it. Don't be shy. So this next part, I struggle with telling people, like, when I notice things that could maybe get fixed. I just don't, because I don't want to like offend people, but grammar and punctuation, guys, is so huge. And spelling, it's so important. Don't just ramble out a post and just post it and just be like, blah, 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 done. Like with no periods in there and no commas and the wrong versions of there, and there. Like, I know it sounds like I'm being nitpicky, but when I first went Ruby and then I had that really dead period, I talk about that a lot, that's when I learned a lot of this stuff, because I wasn't having any business. So instead I took the time to research everything I could, learn about social media, learn about marketing, things like that. I was looking into blogging a lot. And every single blogging video, every single article, anything anybody ever talked about, the biggest tip was you have to just proofread your stuff. Put it in Microsoft Word. Put it in some kind of program that's going to like auto, you know, like the spell check, grammar check, whatever for you if you need the help. You know, reach out to your upline and send it to them and see if they could help you proofread it. And I'm not saying it has to be like, you know, a literary masterpiece that you're going to submit it that's going to be in the, you know, the SATs for high school students across the country. I'm saying just like the basics, like use periods, you know, capitalize the beginning of sentences, things like that. I mess up. I put the ... way too much when you're not supposed to. So I'm not getting into the nitty gritty. But when it comes to the stuff that makes that post look professional, or like you just did it in a rush while you're driving and like the light turned green, so you just like had to finish it and send it, there's such a difference. Particularly if you're talking about stuff that's deep about your story or whatever, that's especially important that you have good grammar and good, you know, punctuation, spelling, things like that, because you don't want it to take away from what your message is and what you're saying. You want people to just think you know your shit. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm like insulting them, telling them they don't know how to write. Sorry. So then, and my last thought was, make it fun too. It doesn't always have to be because you're looking for a DT. It doesn't always have to be your story or something deep and meaningful. It could just be you hung out or you talked to somebody on the team and you love the fact that, I mean, I post this all the time, being a 20 something and making friends is incredibly hard. Either you carry them with you from high school, or you got to wait until you have kids and you make friends with other moms. Like, especially in the tri-state area, people aren't the friendliest. It's not the easiest to get close to people here. So I always post about making friends with people. Things like that. Keep it fun. If you feel like you're not working, but you're still posting and doing stuff, but you're just like, I feel like I'm not doing business stuff. Good. Business stuff comes across spammy. When you're being real, honest, raw, emotional, vulnerable, happy, fun, all of those things, it might not feel like you're working, but you're doing so much better for your business than you think by doing that, because you're not just all about money. You're a lot more about the emotion side of it. And that's what people relate to. And that's why people will choose you over other people to go to, because we sell the same stuff. At the end of the day, the only difference is you. So, how long should your lifestyle posts be? It always depends. For my long, like, story ones or my rants or whatever, I'll put like rant alert or like long post alert or whatever on them. And then I just make them however long I want to make them, because I warn people. And believe it or not, people do read them. I try to keep, so when you're scrolling through the news feed, if you see like the part that shows and then it says see more, I try to keep the part that you can see at least like enough to, if it's like longer than that, I want people to get interested enough to want to click see more and read the whole thing. So I try to keep, a little vague and the big points in the beginning of it, if it's going to be longer than the see more. If it's shorter than that, great. I mean, there's no set length for a lifestyle post. You don't want to like bombard people where all of your posts are like a novel. That sucks. Nobody wants to read that all the time. But yeah, doesn't matter how long it is, however long until you got to reach your point. Just make sure that the see more, the part before see more is like interesting enough for people to want to read it. Okay, so any questions so far about writing lifestyle posts? I'm actually going to try, while you guys are thinking of questions, because I know you have some. I know you have questions. While you're thinking of them and writing them, I'm going to look up a lifestyle post on my page, because I want to tell you guys, I struggle the most with actually just starting them, like the first few words. So I want to give an example so I can tell you how I did it. Okay, I see you guys wrote a question there. I'll read it in one sec. Let me just find the picture I'm talking about. Okay, so let me see the ones you wrote. I don't know why I sat like this. Oh, my back is killing me now. How do you make money posts not sound like complaining or venting? What do you mean by money posts? Like you're struggling for money kind of posts? Okay. And then how can we show confidence, passion, excitement in our life posts? Okay, so these are good questions. So when you're doing your, money posts and you're struggling for money or whatever, no, you don't want to make it seem like you're, yeah, it would be uncomfortable if it was like, oh, like, does she want some money or something? Like, does she need some help? She needs some food? No, you don't want to make it like that. You want to make it more so like, when I'm trying to think, what's a good way to explain the thoughts in my head, because that's my everyday struggle. From here to here, the connection sometimes is a little shoddy. this is kind of like, how comfortable are you getting real? Like how real can you get with people? Because I'll talk about having, knowing what it's like to have to pick between food and gas to get to work. And that relates to people a lot. So even if I was still, trying to make money, what I would say is I would talk about that experience. And then I would say that I know that there are millions of other people who go through that same struggle. And that I know how horrible it feels, how hopeless it feels. And I talk about the feelings a lot because that's what people connect with. So it's not so much about I can't pay my mortgage or I can't pay my rent. It's more about, how do you feel? Like, do you feel a personal sense of defeat if you can't contribute to your household bills? Because I know a lot of people and they feel awful about it and they join this to help out. Or, the fact that I could go to a grocery store and I can put stuff in my cart and I don't have to look at the price. I mean, depends on what it is. I'm not like putting caviar in my cart, but I'm saying, like if I want to get like paleo mayo and I know it's a little more expensive, I don't have to worry about it. But I still remember the day that I didn't have food to eat. And I had always just kind of taken, when I heard that people were hungry and things like that, I kind of took it for granted until I was in a situation where like I'd be at home sitting there watching TV, my stomach would be growling and I'd have absolutely nothing. And I knew I wouldn't be able to eat until I went and got my $2 bodega sandwich the next day. Like that struggle with money, you can relate that in saying, I never want my children to go through this. I never want anybody to go through this. So I'm helping everybody on my team make sure that they have extra money in their pockets so that this is never a concern. You can always kind of play with money, but you want to make it more about the feeling, because being broke isn't just about a balance in your account. It's about a whole multitude of things. It's about, the sense of defeat that you feel, things like that. Talk about the feeling attached to the money and how hard you're working to not be in that situation anymore. Does that help? Awesome. Okay. So how can we show confidence, passion, excitement in our life posts? So would you say when you read my posts that they seem confident or they seem passionate or excited? And that's actually good because I can show the post that I pulled up. Okay, so this one I have here. I'm so excited, down to just 4 spots left overnight. I started this last year for some extra grocery money. I always say that. So when I struggle to start a post, I'll usually talk about why I started. And that's my way of opening it up. And then by then I kind of get, loosened up. I now do this from home full time and I love what I do. I never expected this, but it all just started with curiosity. And then I ask a question. Have you been curious? And then I'll usually throw in like a witty something in there, like a smart-assy kind of comment. And I think that's where like confidence, kind of people think it's confidence. I'm just like I'm kind of a smart-ass. Sorry, I feel like my face is really close to everyone. Just saying, you don't get paid to be curious. I love that line. I'm not going to chase you, convince you, or persuade you. I want to help you, but I don't need you on our team. I'm sorry if that's harsh, but it's true. I hate pushy salespeople. I hate the reputation the people in this industry can have. Because of that, I do it differently. And if you have an open mind, reach out. Remember, we are only able to help 4 more people get started before Christmas. Our busiest season kicks off right after, and you will want to be trained and ready for that. If you've ever been on the fence, stop overthinking it. I'm not asking you for your firstborn. God, I'm such a jerk sometimes. I'm not asking you for your firstborn. You won't have to refinance your home. I don't need a blood oath. It's a simple process, and I'm excited to hear from you. So now, I didn't even realize how much of a smartass I am. Okay, so blood oath. What's wrong with me? I got people messaging me on it, so I guess it worked out. But the more just kind of unafraid to say what you're thinking. You don't want to sound like a jerk. Like, you don't want to sound mean. I tease people all the time. I like laugh at things people say. Like, I've done a video saying how, yeah, like, you're right, I'm really good at Photoshop. My Chihuahua is a German Shepherd. Look how great I am at Photoshop. Like, I'll poke fun at the industry a little, and I'll say how I really feel about stuff. And I think people respect and appreciate that. So the more odd you are, the better. The more you are, the better. I don't know how to tell you guys like how to be confident or show excitement, passion. Excitement, I guess, put like exclamation marks, but confidence and stuff like that, sound like you. Don't be afraid to sound like you. Confidence, and the difference is going to come when you don't sound scripted. And that's why we'll get into the algorithm and everything at the 7 p.m. Zoom. Besides the fact that it affects the algorithm, I hate copied and pasted posts because there's nothing original in that. There's nothing in that. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't somebody go buy it from the person you copied and pasted from? You guys are using the same exact words. So it's just about who they're going to see first. That's ultimately why they're buying. Well, you're going to run out of people like that. But by always selling you first, by sounding like you in your posts and not worrying about sounding like the perfect it works person, that comes across as confidence. And that is the difference. And that's why people will end up following your journey instead of people that all sound the same. So I hope that helps. I wish I had some better tips on like the exact words to use, but I kind of write like how I talk. So if I talk to a friend a certain way, like I write like that. I find that to be more relatable. Did that help, Alex? And also, if I'm rambling, tell me to slow my ass down if anybody needs to take notes. Any other questions about lifestyle posts? My hair looks really red today. This is awesome. I haven't dyed it in forever. Okay, so if you guys do have any questions, go ahead and put them down, put them on there whenever. And then when I get to a good time in between, I'll go over it. Okay, so pictures and the look of your Facebook. This is so important. 100% important. In fact, if I'm struggling in a day where I can't write something great, I just make sure that I have nice pictures. If I don't have nice pictures, I go find them on Pinterest or I find them on Google, and I put them on InstaSize and I put them through filters to make it look like it's mine. But I'm like obsessed with how my Facebook looks, because that's basically like your website. That's when you think about it, I try to always do in a blog style. I think of my Facebook as a blog. And there's a million different blogs, but they're all about the same topic. Like if you searched DIY and hobby and crafting blogs, there's so many, but they're all different and they have different levels of viewers and different, interaction and things like that. And that's all because of the pictures they use and the way that they write. So again, that's another way to distinguish you from everybody else. Your pictures have to be awesome. Like the stuff that's in them can be boring. I took a picture of my feet watching TV earlier, but like I make it look nice. I try to clean up the area that's being shown. Even if my house is a disaster, the area that you're seeing is going to be nice and tidy. I try to do good lighting. A little tip: if you're facing a window, even if it's like a crappy day, like right now I'm just facing a window in front of me. And it's my favorite light to be in. If light is coming from behind you, it's going to make you a lot darker and your shadows are going to be a lot more pronounced. So if you're facing like a big window or a light, it's a lot better. When you're taking a picture, if you tap on the screen, it focuses better. Clean your lens before you take a picture of anything, believe it or not. Even between pictures, as I check it, I wipe my lens down with like a cloth, be like just my shirt or something. Because any little grease or film that gets on there is going to affect the focusing and the quality of your picture. You'd be really surprised. Yeah, lighting is, Devin said, lighting is everything. It made such a change in my stuff, 100%. The brighter and just more pleasant things look, the more attractive they are, and the more people are going to want to come back and see your page. So big windows are awesome. In terms of selfies, My favorite selfie app is YouCam Makeup, because they have so many different options for stuff, but you can adjust the intensity of whatever you're using. So YouCam Makeup has an actual camera filter thing built in. So when you click it, you click the front. I'm going to see if you can see it. When I try to show my phone screen on here, it comes out too bright, but maybe you guys can see. So anything? Is there any friggin' way that I can do this? Oh, crap. Okay, so no. So here, just take my word for it, there's two options. There's a makeup camera and a selfie camera. When you click the selfie camera, it actually softens, like it smooths your skin and it fixes the lighting for you. So it's my absolute favorite app for selfies. Even if I don't use it like to make up my face, I use it when I take the selfie, because it just makes, like, gives you an overall better look to work with. It's good too because you can do fun things like eyelashes and lips and stuff, but you can adjust the intensity because you don't want it to look fake. People will see that and then immediately be like, oh my God, you know, she does this to all her pictures. She must mess with the before and afters. I've come across them all. So if you need help with the app, if you want to practice the app together, we can do that. Just let me know. But YouCam Makeup is awesome. Now, Facetune is my favorite. I absolutely love Facetune, and it's available for Droid and for Apple. But it's a paid app. Don't let that scare you. It is worth every friggin' penny. I wouldn't advertise to people that you have Facetune on there. There is a way that you can edit the size of things. And I've worked, like I'm on Facetune all the time and I love it. And I've always done art and things like that. So I can judge with the, levels, and I make myself look nice. I never messed with before and afters, but hey, I'm going to make myself look good in a selfie. But people will automatically think that you're just editing everything if you go and advertise. Like, I don't really tell people what apps I use unless they're on the team. I have people ask me like what I use to edit, and I don't tell them. I say, join my team and I'll tell you. So don't advertise it to people. But in Facetune, if you go to filters, even if you don't want to mess with all like the crazy advanced stuff in Facetune, which if you have some free time, fiddle around. It's an awesome app. But for the basics, filters, expose. That's going to brighten the hell out of your pictures. And then you can kind of you just scroll up or down on the screen, and that's how you adjust the level of exposure, because sometimes it's like way too bright. Or you can go to brighten. So I recommend that for Droid users, for both. But the next app I'm going to recommend, I'm sure you guys know what I'm going to say, isn't available to Droid users. So if you are a Droid user, don't worry. You can go to Facetune and expose or brighten, and that'll brighten up your pics really well. If you do have an iPhone, you get to use my favorite app of all time, Pick Tap Go. A lot of the ambassadors use it. Pretty much any of them, when you see them with the cool filters and stuff, you can see they kind of look the same. Pick Tap Go. It is another paid app. These are only a couple bucks each, but it is amazing. Amazing. So I always use the three same, and I adjust the levels of it. I use Bright Side, I use Crispity, and I use either auto contrast or plus contrast, depending on what the picture looks best with. And then you can edit, like there's a little sliding thing where you can edit how strong each filter is, and just play with it until you like the way your picture looks, until you can brighten it up nice. If you hold down the picture on the bottom left, it'll show you the original, so you can compare it. If you hold it down on the right, it'll show you with the most recent filter that you had, so you can see if you really need, if you need to adjust it. I need to figure out a way to show you guys how I use these things. I just can't figure out a way to show the screen on the Zoom because I'm challenged with technology, believe it or not. So once I figure out how to do that, I'm going to do a live demo of start to finish how I edit my photos. But for the most part, if you have an iPhone, pick, tap, go all the way. So once I fix the, I crop out like the useless parts of the picture if there are any. I try to keep it centered, keep it nice and bright. I use either of those two apps to brighten up the picture. You'll always hear me talk about InstaSize. InstaSize is an amazing app. It's for both Droid and iPhone. And there's a few reasons why I even put it in the post challenge. If you have your heart set on a different app that does, similar, go ahead and use it. It's fine. I really, really love InstaSize because it's easy and it's clean and pretty looking. But there's a few other reasons. When you have a picture that a lot of other distributors have used, and again, I'm going to go over this in the algorithm part later on, it tricks the algorithm, it trips the algorithm. So it won't show your stuff to as many people because a lot of other distributors are posting this picture. So Facebook will think it's spam, that if a lot of other people are reposting and reposting, it must be spam. So when you put it through InstaSize, and then you save it to your phone and then upload it, it becomes an individual picture to you. So Facebook recognizes it as your personal photo and shows it to more people. Also, when people are scrolling through their newsfeed to see updates, when you see a picture that's like your whole phone screen, it's a lot to focus on and see what's going on. So people will usually just like look at it and keep going, particularly if they have to keep scrolling to get to the option to like. It's all about like the psychology behind, just browsing your newsfeed. When you have a smaller picture that's put through InstaSize so it fits in like one square, so you can see the whole thing right there, and the like options right there too, people are a lot more inclined to just click like because they saw it, they see it, it's done. Like is right there, it's easy. You'd be surprised. So, and then also because it's a nice, and this is going to lead into the next part of this, it's a nice, clean, cohesive look. So when people are scrolling through your page, everything looks even, uniform, nice and crisp and clean, and a little bit more professional. In InstaSize, there's an option called Adjust, and you can go to the sharpness. This is another little tip I do. And I just, be careful with this, keep it subtle. I just do it like at 1 or 2, at the most. But especially if you're using Facetune because you're a Droid user, you don't have the option of crispity like you do on Pick, Tap, Go. So when you do put it on InstaSize, kick up the sharpness a little bit. It'll help just make it pop. So I know that was a lot. Does anybody have any questions before I move on to the theme of your Facebook? Does anybody have any questions about the filters or anything that you've seen me do or anything like that? Any apps I forgot? Pick, Tap, Go is iPhone. I wish that they did Droid. I feel so bad when people are like, I can't get it because it's awesome. So Pick, Tap, Go is on iPhone. For wording, I use WordSwag. I also use something called Rona. Rona's a little bit advanced, so let me know if you want to learn Rona, and then we can kind of like one-on-one go through how to use it because it's a little tricky. But Rona is how I get my big sparkly letters and writing and everything. Okay, so if you have any questions, leave them there, but I'm going to keep going. Oh, spell it. RHONNA. It's another paid app. Sorry. RHONNA. Rona. They also have a collaging app that's really, really cute to use as well. And it's the same, it's Rona Collage. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so now I want you guys to do something. You have to, obviously, like, don't do it right now, but you know, in your own time, um, find 3 people on Facebook. Anybody. They can be an ambassador. They can be any rank. They could not be with their works. They could be with another company. I mean, they could be anybody, a friend, anybody. Find, but like somebody that has a very stylized Facebook. Find one and pick out 3 things that you like about it visually, like what you see, you know, the colors, the overall look of it, everything. So 3 qualities that you see, and then 3 things that you pick up on, like the vibe of the page, you know, like how does it make you feel when you're on that page? And then try to make yours look similar. This is how you're going to find your individual styles, because the page that you pick that you love is going to be different than a page that I would pick that I love. You know, and each of us have an individual style. But I started looking at Alyssa Billiou. Oh my God, why am I forgetting her name right now? What the hell's wrong with me? Hughes, Ashley Hughes, duh, brain fart. Oh my God. Ashley Hughes, Alyssa Billiou, and Claire Flores would probably be my 3 Facebooks that I adore. Just went to full screen and I'm not sure why. Okay. So those are my 3. I love that they're bright and airy. I love that the pictures are so nice and like they pop. She has they all have a lot of pictures with family, and everything is just really visually pretty. So over the summer, when we were at Green Carpet, Alyssa Billiou, I'm such a stalker. She went to this crepe place and she took like the cutest picture of this crepe bakery, and we just happened to be near it like the next day or whatever, and it looked nothing like her picture. Like it was boring looking, but the way she used the filters and everything, it just made it pop, and it was amazing. So that kind of feel is what I like to make my pictures look like, and the filters that I use. There's a quote by Tony Robbins, it's like my favorite, and it makes so much sense. If you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. And it's like so true. Don't copy them word for word. Don't, you know, imitate them, but use what they do as a way to make it your own. When I hit that slow period and I was researching everything and trying to give a purpose to having absolutely no business and no bites for a few months, I really dove into YouTube a lot. Like I watched so many YouTubes. When I'm home, like Fixer Upper is on today because I don't know, I felt like watching it. But usually like when I get to my working, like when I do my power hour, when I'm doing, you know, my nitty gritty stuff with the business, when I'm making my posts up and I'm talking to people, I have YouTube videos of ambassadors and trainings, even newbie trainings, whatever. I have it playing on my TV because I have a smart TV. All day, just having it in the background. When I used to drive Nick to work, I would have the videos playing and I would just drive around and listen to them. When I'm cleaning, when I'm in the shower, having that kind of in the background there gives you more confidence. But in doing that, I stumbled across a lot of YouTube channels about the look of your Facebook or the look of your Instagram. And it's awesome. It's so much fun to like look at what all the tips and tricks these people do. So if you go to YouTube and you search Instagram themes, or if you search like clean Instagram theme or whatever, there'll be a million videos for you to pick and choose and find. Maybe you'll find one that, you know, I don't know about that's your favorite, and you'll take off and you'll, you know, have a fabulous looking Facebook. But I just know that pretty much any of the ambassador diamonds that are big on social media, they all have a very stylized, interesting looking Facebook, and it's all based on like their cover photo, their pictures, and a lot of that info is you can find it on YouTube. So I encourage you guys to take ownership of the way your Facebook looks, and, you know, get excited about branding yourself and figure out a theme you want to work with, and just, you know, go from there. I'm here for any help or advice. It's kind of my thing, as you can tell. I love that side of the business. So yeah, definitely dive into that. Okay. So any questions about branding? your Facebook, the way it looks. You want it to tell a story. You know, when you go to, if you look up Ronnie B, if you look up Ronessa B's Facebook, I love her Facebook. It has very minimal stuff about particularly It Works, but it's all about women empowerment. She's an African American female, and she's so successful, and she is all about raising up like awareness and like, community support and everything. And she's so positive, but she's not just like, yelling in your face with exclamation marks. She has meaning behind everything she has on there. She's awesome. But her Facebook has a very particular look to it. She's another one, very stylized Facebook. All these people, they thought about a story that they wanted to tell. Alyssa too. She likes to she travels all over the place. She was a blogger before she started doing this. She spends her days with her daughter. They go out for ice cream or, crepes and have, girls' days and stuff like that. Every one of their Facebooks tells a story in the way that it looks. And that's what gets people to keep coming back. And that's what gets people that the next time they need a little extra money, they'll think about your page and be like, there's that awesome girl on Facebook. She does this for a living. Her Facebook looks legit, so she must do well. Let me contact her, reach out. Fake it till you make it. If your Facebook looks like you're running a friggin' corporation, what are people going to think? They don't know that you're like sitting in your living room on your iPhone. Like, people probably think I have like a studio or something. And it's just like, I don't even know how to work Zoom. I have my iPhone. That's it. So fake it till you make it. Any questions on that part? Because I'm going to finish up with the key points to my interacting hour. Because then the rest of that I'm going to finish tonight. Any questions? Okay. So feel free to leave them. And I'll get to them. So now I'm trying to like talk about this, but not get so into it because I have a lot more to talk about on this particular thing tonight. Scrolling through your news feed when you log into Facebook and liking and commenting what you see is not the same. Even if you do it for an hour, it is not the same. It's not what we're talking about. That is still considered posting and praying. It's a waste of your time. Now, that's not to say like if you're just truly enjoying leisure of Facebook and you're going to like something your friend posted, like go ahead. But in terms of the business and building, leg cramp, sorry, building the business, an hour, in all honesty, I know that nobody wants to say that like they don't do a full hour, but a lot of times I don't even do a full hour. Like granted, I do, 45, 50 minutes, but it's hard, especially, and I work from home. So especially if you have kids or you have a full-time job, I get it. I'm all about simplifying it so that you do the stuff you need to do, but you don't feel like you're overwhelmed and dragging doing it. So don't do it all at once. Don't do it all at once. It's easy. What you do is set a goal for yourself each day. And don't set one that's like not realistic. We all have the best intentions and we want to try and, get that promotion and push hard and we want this, but be realistic to yourself. If you can do a half hour today, 45 minutes today, an hour, set a goal for yourself. Whenever you have a few moments, and I'm talking if you got 3 minutes, if you're on the toilet, if you have like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, go on your phone, go to the stopwatch or the timer and set the time. And just go through what I'm about to go over and just do it. And then when you're busy and you have to stop doing it and get back to other stuff, stop the timer or the stopwatch and keep track in your notes on your phone. So that was 15 minutes or that was 5 minutes, whatever. And do that throughout the day. At the end of the night, when you're like relaxing before bed, tally up how many minutes you've spent throughout the day. I guarantee you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to feel like you didn't even do work, but you're going to look at it and be like, holy shit, I did 35 minutes today. I did 40 minutes today. and then you'll be able to close out the night and just, quickly put the timer on for 10 minutes and finish your power hour. It doesn't have to be all at once. It's all about feeling good about what you're doing too. And when you're rushed or you're stressed or you're overwhelmed, that feeling carries into your business. When you're like excited to do these things, that also carries into your business. So whatever works around your schedule, just do that. Just as long as you're keeping consistent. So now what I do on my interaction hour and why it's not just going on your newsfeed. You go to your actual Facebook page, go to where it says friends, and go to the all friends tab. Now, some of you guys have all heard this from me a million times, but I'm recording this so that for everyone, so I'm just going to go over it again real quick. Bear with me. Go to your all friends tab. Do not go to the new posts tab or the new friends tab or whatever. All you need is the tab that's all friends. I'm thinking I should probably post screenshots of like what I mean, because if you go to like the menu tab on Facebook and then you go to the friends category, that's a different page entirely. I'm talking about you go to your actual profile and scroll down as if you're viewing somebody else's friends list. Click your friends list on your page, all friends tab. Now, I usually say like scroll through until you get to a random spots and stop, and that's what you're going to work from there down. But I have like 4,000 Facebook friends, so I found that while I was doing that, I was never getting past like the M's because it's alphabetically organized. I was never getting past like M maybe because I was sitting there scrolling for forever. So what I do now is, it's silly, I pick a name. So yesterday I worked on all of the Jens that I'm friends with. You go to your friends list to the all friends tab, and I just typed in JEN in the top search bar. And everybody, even if it's like a part of their last name, anything, if it says Jen in it, it'll pop up, and that's the list that I worked with. You can do a bunch of different names. You can just do letters if you want like a combination of letters. You can do like ST, stuff like that. So basically what I'm trying to help you guys do is see your whole friends list. Again, we'll talk about the algorithm later. When you have a lot of Facebook friends, you don't see all of their stuff on your newsfeed. That's why just scrolling through your newsfeed and always liking and commenting that stuff keeps you trapped with the same people and doesn't let you expand your network. When you go and you spend even 15, 20 minutes a day of focused interaction with people that you don't interact with normally, you are going to open up your posts to all new people. All these people are now going to see your stuff that didn't before, and vice versa. So what I do is I go on their pages and I like anything. I like something, anything, whatever. If there's nothing really to like, then I go and I like their profile picture, and I comment. You don't have to comment anything crazy or official. Sometimes I'll leave an emoji. The best is when they share something funny, because all you have to do is put like LOL or LMAO. Just anything. That makes Facebook think that you guys talk and you hang out, so that you're going to want to see their stuff more. So they're going to show you their stuff, and they're going to show them your stuff a lot more just from commenting an emoji. It's amazing. And you'll notice it like immediately. That's the coolest thing. Like I'll go log back in and I'll see on my newsfeed that these people that I didn't even know I was Facebook friends with now are on my newsfeed. So mission accomplished. It's pretty cool. So that's why there's a big difference between the focused interaction and just browsing Facebook. When you see a Facebook that could be distributor worthy, like you see somebody and they like have good pictures, they are fun, like they're not negative, they're posting a lot, they're not with another company. That's a big one. Put them, like, write their name down. I have a potentials list, like Claire Flores was saying the other day. I have a potentials list in my notebook that I always keep adding to, like just a long ass list. I'll put them on that list, and I'll put a star next to their name, and I'll write Facebook or like FB, so that, because I know that they're good, they're really good at social media. Don't count the amount of people that you do when you do this. Just keep track of time, Because when you think about, when you get stuck on the amount of people that you're interacting with, sometimes it slows you down, keeping count, and then you lose count, and it's kind of crazy. So you want to worry about getting as much done as possible in that time. So that's going to come from rapid fire. Don't think, just boom, boom, boom. Go comment, like, go comment, like, go comment, like. That's the point of this. Now later on, once you've done this and they're showing up on your news feed, that's when you become Facebook besties with them. And I think I'm discussing this again later tonight, so I'm gonna stop myself from like getting long-winded. When you do interact with them and you start seeing their stuff in your news feed, I just talk to them like best friends. So when they post something about somewhere they went, I ask them how the drinks were. Or I say like, oh my God, I've been there before, it's awesome. Or I love your hair. I compliment them, something. But it always starts with going in your friends list and busting that open and interacting with people that you don't even know probably don't even know you're Facebook friends with. I add anybody. I'm a shameless friend adder. If you have 3 or more, hell, if you have 2 or more sometimes, if it's like a really good Facebook, mutual friends, I add you. If people message you and say, do I know you? I don't get so many of those anymore. And I think it's because the fact that my page is not an It Works looking page. If you guys have posts up where you're like, $59, $99, be my loyal customer, I've only got a few left, come one, come all, I'm an independent distributor, or you have charts talking about pyramid schemes and shit like that. Like, that's stuff that people are going to ask if they know you, because they're immediately going to be on guard, and they're going to be like, they're trying to sell me something, or they're trying to recruit me. People are so suspicious nowadays that you really, really, guys, I can't stress it enough. You need to let them get to know you first based on your Facebook. So I recommend going and cleaning house. Like, get rid of the posts where it says like, $99 in a dream, or get rid of the ones that are like just spammy. I got to put up some examples of what I think are spammy, because you truly want it to just look like your Facebook. When you do add people, that's why you won't get the message, do I know you? Now, I still do occasionally. And when I do, I say, nope, you popped up in my friends you might know, or my suggested friends on Facebook, so I sent you an ad. What's up? How are you? Like, the more chill you are about it, the less people are going to freak out. But another thing that I love, I talk about this a lot too, the groups, Facebook groups. You don't need a lot of them. So people are like, well, I don't know which ones to add. Don't worry about, like, that's not what you should be thinking about. You shouldn't be thinking about like which ones to add. Once you find 1 or 2, you should think about what to post in those groups. If you get a few groups that are popular, that are like, not popular, but there's a lot of people in them, and you put up a post, like a question post, or asking for advice or anything. I have an Italian ladies group that I'm in. I asked for advice about marrying an Italian guy and having an Italian mother-in-law. Like, it doesn't matter how many groups you post in. Just be well known in that one group. That Italian person group I'm in has like 15,000 people in it. So now when I post that question and I get all those comments and I get all those likes, I go and I add all of them. Be careful when you do that with mommy groups and holistic groups, or like all natural groups, weight loss groups, stuff like that. I wouldn't even join those, because they are so hypersensitive and suspicious that you're trying to sell them, that they're like mean. I don't even like, I love health and wellness. I'm not in health and wellness groups. They are hard to crack and hard to deal with. And if an admin catches on to you adding these people, they just immediately will kick you out, maybe report you. So stick to like the little niche groups, like your nationality, a hobby, a pet, a fan club of some kind. Allison was saying, and she's in cake decorating ones or baking ones. what else I'm in? The funny meme groups. Those are cool. And just find like 2 that you're comfortable posting in. My Chihuahua group, Colleen and I are both in the same Chihuahua group, and we both have, it's a gold mine. When you post a picture of your dog, people comment and like it like crazy. When you add those people, if you do get a message from them saying, do I know you? Immediately you can be like, yeah, I know you from this group. You commented on my post, or you liked my post. What's up? Sorry. I've even said before, like if somebody's really like, I don't know you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be creepy. I'm just trying to meet more people who have chihuahuas or have diabetes. I'm big on the diabetic group, things like that. So I didn't mean to be creepy. Apologize. I sent you a friend request because you liked my post in this group. People will usually be like, no, it's okay. I understand. Like they're fine after that. So groups are a great way if you're nervous about adding people. Okay. I think I'm done for now. You guys have any questions? Done blabbering. Did any of this help? I hate when I'll be honest, when you see Zooms sometimes, or you see YouTube videos, or you see live videos, and they just say the same shit you hear all the time, I get so mad because I'm like, I needed help on this, and I've heard this a million times, and I don't get it. So please be honest. If you want me to elaborate on anything, if there's something that I did not cover that you wish I did, feel free to type it because I'm leaving time for Q&A now. And if you don't have any questions, then you can hop off the Zoom. I'm going to finish up the recording, get it on YouTube, and then we'll be back on here at around 7 tonight for the second Zoom that I'm doing today. But if you do have questions, feel free, type them up. I have an idea. For the people that are on here, when you go to write a lifestyle post, can you guys honestly tell me the one thing that comes up that you struggle with? Like the thought that pops up. Is it you go to type it and you're like, shit, how do I start it? Or you go to type it up and you're like, what am I going to talk about? Like what is your most common hurdle with writing of the lifestyle post? Because they're so vital. And I'm talking like lifestyle posts that aren't just like adding to the team, join us today, like ones that are like about you and your life. What do you guys struggle with mostly? The first thought that comes to your head. Hope you guys are typing and I'm not just like staring, like batting my eyelashes at you. Anybody? Bueller? I'm going to look through my phone for more examples to see. I'm not satisfied with the lifestyle post portion of today.
Okay, I don't think mine, I guess you can't see it, but I wrote one.
Oh, it's not coming up. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up here. Is there anything else written that I'm not seeing? Is that why?
I don't know. So mine was being judged by like family members. They're very judgmental. And if I really would like go deep into it, I would get like backlash from them.
Okay. So hang on. I want to see All I'm seeing is my big face on this thing. How do I see people, whoever's talking? Okay. Now, who is that asked that question?
Sherelle.
Okay. Hey. So, oh, there it is. Okay. No, it didn't even update. So your question was how your fear of being judged by the friends on your Facebook now. Have they ever said anything to you before? Or, given you any criticism like that? I don't know why I look lazy-eyed today. It's just me. So, Sherelle, I couldn't hear you if you were answering that one. Has like a situation come up or happened before that would make you fear that? Or are you saying like you just think that they would if you started getting more real and open?
I don't know why your chat has like a lag.
Everything has a lag. My eye has a lag today.
So they did when I did my results for the first time, and the one where I did like my family, how I joined to help him. It just drove me insane, so I just stopped doing it.
Okay. So now I will say this. I don't know if it's like the answer that you guys want to hear, but I still to this day get my eye is like bugging me out on this computer screen. I'm going back to full view because I didn't even see that before. Okay. I still get backlash from family and from people to this very day. I get people that make fun of me that say to me like, oh, why do you post about your diabetes so much? You're just looking for sympathy. You're just trying to sell people on that. Or, why do you post about being poor? That's something you should keep to yourself. You're not now. So why do you talk about how you used to be and all this stuff? I get people who criticize me left and right. And I got, the rank, I guess, the bonuses, the glitz, the whatever. And it didn't stop anything from happening. Like, people are still harsh. People still suck sometimes. But at the end of the day, I know that, I feel like I wouldn't have met a lot of you guys on this team if I didn't get as real as I get and step out of my comfort zone as much as I do. Think about that. Like, I probably still wouldn't be doing this. And I probably wouldn't have signed a lot of you guys because a lot of you have joined saying that, I related to you, or I felt like I knew you. I felt comfortable reaching out to you and stuff like that. And that wouldn't have come from unless I let people in and unless I got vulnerable and I just stopped giving a shit. Like, I don't care. I have no shame. I really don't. Like, the other day I was telling Nick, I'm thinking about going live for 24 hours straight and just for shits and giggles. Like, why not? None of the things that have come to me would have come to me if I let the few assholes get to me, because there are always going to be assholes in life. Always. Everyone has haters. The Pope has haters. The famous people have haters. Everybody has a critic. We're our harshest critics. So once you push through that, nothing anybody else says should be able to deter you if you yourself stand behind what you are and what you say. Nothing someone else coming from a place of hate, negativity, or judgment, like, they're not coming to you because they're genuinely concerned for your well-being and that you're, doing too much. They're coming to you to tear you down because that's who they are. So, like, bless and release. I don't want you on my team. That's how I think of it. Like, I'm so grateful that I never let those people stop me, because I truthfully don't know that I would have gotten my health in check. I wouldn't have had that desire to overhaul my health the way that I did if I didn't have my critics. So I'm happy for the critics. It just, you got to get like a thick skin about it and weigh the good and the bad and say so much greatness and so much like love and help and encouragement and support and confidence and strength and great things can come from me getting real. So if I got one person telling me, like one, I know you asked, who was it, Claire, the other day, you're like, what do you do if your network's ghetto? You're like, I have one ghetto person chirping in my ear telling me that my belly is annoying him. Okay, bye. Unfollow me. Like, you're not going to buy anything from me, or you are, but like, my posts are not tailor-made to what people find, like what people are comfortable with. I have business, I have customers, I have a team. So that proof is there that me posting these things isn't hurting my business. It's helping my business. I'm not going to tailor my posts to some person that's never made $1 doing it works. I'm going to do what I know is going to help me be successful and help me feel fulfilled. And they can have their day job and be all bitter, because people who criticize only do it because there's a problem with them, not with you. Let me see. Where the hell did all of my chat go? Okay. Did that help, Sherelle? Now, if on the same token, if you're thinking like, well, I don't work from home, I haven't hit these bonuses, I haven't promoted to, a big rank or whatever. So when people criticize me, what do I have to back it up? That's when you go to the emotional side of things. Are you a good person? Are you doing this for the right reasons, for your family, for your future? You're not doing it to lie to people and be like, fat people give me money. You're like, you're doing this to help people I hope. So at the end of the day, even if you don't have the title, the living, working from home and all that to back up the confidence, have confidence in the fact that while they're grumbling at you and judging you, you are making connections with somebody who is really happy to know you now. I love the fact that we're such a tight team. I really do. And I don't think that would come from us all having our guards up. So bye, anybody who criticizes us, I don't even have a blip on my radar, except that one guy that said my stomach scars were ugly and I took the picture flipping them off. It was not my classiest moment. Any other questions? Did I freeze at all? Because all of the cameras went black at the same time. Okay.
Who is the woman you were talking about earlier?
Which? The distributor?
You were talking about I think a person you follow, something about a picture of Greece.
Was it Claire Flores? Or Alyssa Billiou?
No, I think it was another one. You named three or four people.
Okay. Oh, my top three that Renessa or Ronnie.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie Brown, she's awesome. Alyssa Billiou, that's Bilyeu. And then Claire Flores, who we talked to. Would it help if I put a list of some of the ambassadors like that? I could type it up and put it in Team Amato if you guys wanted, if that would help.
Okay, I was just going to follow the people because you were talking about how clean the person's page was.
Yep, it was Ronnie. I'll put a list on Team Amato for you guys to check it out and find some of your favorites. So this way, you can figure out the 3 people that you guys relate to the most for the design of your Facebook.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Awesome. Okay, so we're just at about an hour and a half. So as usual, I've gone over. If you guys have any other questions that I'm not covering now, let me know and I'll just cover it on the 7 p.m. Zoom tonight. I'm going to be putting this on YouTube and then I will post the link in the page if you guys want to go back and review it, along with some screenshots of post examples, like I was saying, and some ambassadors that are really awesome to follow. So thank you guys for hopping on here for an hour and a half and listening to me talk in the middle of the day. And you guys got this. Let's finish November strong. I'm so excited for all of you for December and then for freaking January. Oh my God. So I'm here for you. Let me know if you guys have any questions. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.